Have you ever wondered why one of the biggest voices in sports media is suddenly calling out the WNBA over the way Caitlin Clark has been treated? It's a debate that's gone far beyond a single game. It has become a conversation about officiating, player safety, league leadership, and the future of women's basketball. Over the past several days, ESPN personality Stephen A. Smith strongly criticized the WNBA following another controversial sequence involving Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark. His comments came after widespread discussion surrounding physical play against Clark, including an incident against the Phoenix Mercury that officials did not initially penalize during the game, but was later reviewed by the league. Reports suggest Smith believes the league has to do more to protect its biggest stars, while also maintaining fairness for every player. So what actually happened? And why has this become one of the biggest talking points in the WNBA? Let's break it down. The discussion began after Indiana Fever's game against the Phoenix Mercury, where Clark was involved in several physical plays. During one sequence, Alyssa Thomas made contact with Clark's throat, while both players were battling for the ball. Officials did not call a foul in real time. After reviewing the play, however, the WNBA upgraded the contact to a flagrant 2 foul and suspended Thomas for 1 game. Fever head coach Stephanie White publicly criticized the officiating, arguing that dangerous plays cannot be ignored during games and then corrected only afterward. Recent reports also indicate that multiple analysts questioned whether the league's officiating has been consistent enough this season. That distinction is important because criticism has focused primarily on officiating standards rather than accusing players of intentional misconduct. Every physical play must still be evaluated on its own merits. Reports also note that Phoenix coach Nate Tibbetts disagreed with the suspension process, showing that opinions differ even among coaches. The debate has been as much about league procedures as about the play itself. That is where Stephen A. Smith entered the conversation. During his commentary, Smith argued that the WNBA cannot allow its biggest attraction to repeatedly become the center of conversations about excessive physicality. According to his remarks, the issue is not whether Clark should receive special treatment, but whether the league is doing enough to consistently protect all players through proper officiating. He also pointed to Clark's impact on television ratings, ticket sales, and overall interest in women's basketball. His argument was straightforward. When a player helps attract millions of new viewers, the league has an even greater responsibility to ensure games are officiated consistently, and player safety remains a priority. Now, that's Smith's opinion. It is not an official position of the WNBA. And that's an important distinction. Critics of Smith's comments argue that basketball is naturally physical, and that Clark is not the only player who absorbs hard contact. Many veteran stars across the league experience tough defense every night, and officials inevitably miss calls in every professional sport. Supporters of Smith, however, believe the recent incidents represent a pattern rather than isolated moments. According to recent discussions online, many fans feel Clark has been subjected to repeated physical play that deserves closer attention from officials. Again, those are opinions, not confirmed facts. The confirmed fact is that the league reviewed one of the controversial plays after the game and issued a suspension. That decision itself has sparked another debate. Some people believe the suspension proves the officials missed a significant call. Others argue the league handled the situation correctly by using its review process. Neither side fully agrees on what should have happened during the game itself. One reason this discussion has become so emotional is because Caitlin Clark occupies a unique position in the sport. Since entering the WNBA, Clark has helped drive record television audiences, increased merchandise sales, and drawn unprecedented attention to the league. Whether someone is a fan of her style or not, her impact on business metrics has been widely documented. That popularity creates enormous expectations. Every hard foul becomes a national discussion. Every missed whistle is analyzed frame by frame. Every controversial moment spreads across social media within minutes. That level of attention places additional pressure on referees, coaches, players, and league officials alike. It's also worth remembering that Clark herself has generally focused on basketball rather than escalating public disputes. While she has occasionally questioned calls during games, she has largely emphasized moving forward and helping her team compete. That approach has not stopped others from speaking on her behalf. Indiana teammate Sophie Cunningham recently expressed frustration over what she described as the league's failure to adequately protect Clark. Those comments generated significant discussion among fans, with supporters agreeing and critics arguing that every star player deals with physical defense throughout a long season. Fan reactions have reflected just how divided this topic has become. Some fans believe Stephen A. Smith simply voiced concerns that many viewers have already been expressing. Others believe media personalities sometimes amplify controversy because it attracts attention and ratings. According to recent discussions across sports media, many supporters want one thing above everything else: consistency. If a dangerous play deserves a foul, they want it called regardless of who commits it or who receives it. That applies to Clark. It applies to Angel Reese. It applies to Alyssa Thomas. It applies to every player in the league. Consistency, not favoritism, is what many fans continue asking for. From a basketball perspective, this debate could have long-term implications. If players believe officials are allowing excessive contact, games may become increasingly physical. If officials begin calling games more tightly, others may argue that basketball is becoming over-officiated. Finding the right balance has never been easy in professional sports. The WNBA now faces the challenge of protecting player safety while preserving the competitive intensity that makes the league exciting to watch. Another important point often gets overlooked. Physical basketball is not unique to games involving Caitlin Clark. Throughout WNBA history, elite guards and forwards have faced aggressive defensive strategies. Great players often receive the most defensive attention because opponents know how dangerous they are. That doesn't automatically mean officials have acted incorrectly every time Clark is hit. Nor does it mean every controversial play should be dismissed. Each situation deserves to be evaluated individually using the rules of the game. That balanced approach is probably the healthiest way to view these debates. As for Stephen A. Smith, his comments have once again demonstrated the growing national attention surrounding the WNBA. Only a few years ago, conversations like this rarely dominated mainstream sports television. Today, they lead major sports programs, generate millions of social media interactions, and attract nationwide debate. In many ways, that's another sign of how much women's basketball has grown. More attention inevitably brings more scrutiny. Every call matters. Every review matters. Every public statement matters. Looking ahead, the biggest question isn't whether people agree with Stephen A. Smith. The bigger question is whether the WNBA can use moments like this to strengthen confidence in its officiating while continuing to build the momentum the league has worked so hard to create. What do you think? Did Stephen A. Smith raise legitimate concerns about consistency and player safety? Or do you think the physical nature of professional basketball is simply being examined more closely because Caitlin Clark is involved? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Keep the discussion respectful, because healthy debate is part of what makes sports so compelling. And if you enjoy balanced WNBA analysis based on verified events rather than rumors, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next breakdown.